Hello everyone here at BOKO and online. Welcome to the presentation of the International Master of Science in Soil and Global Change, IMSOGLO. So the first question which we might ask in this context, why soils and why global change? So why soils? Well, if we go by this definition of the WRB, soil is any material within 2 meters of the Earth's surface that is in contact with the atmosphere. So this actually even includes water bodies which are less than 2 meters deep. So basically we could consider that almost all the land surface of the Earth, which is 29% of the whole Earth, can be considered soil by this definition. If you take away land surface which is covered by ice permanently, for example, so that's really a lot. So basically, soil is everywhere, and soil, as you might know or guess, is also very, very important. Soil delivers countless ecosystem services that are basically essential to life on Earth. It's not only about our food, our feed for animals, but it's also about regulation of the climate, regulation of the water cycle, regulation of nutrient cycles, and much more actually. Yeah, it's the place where we live, and it's also the place where we as humans have also the most impact on. Yeah, of course. If you see oceans, 71% of the Earth's surface, you might think, well, I'd rather go study oceans. Well, you could, but if you think on soil and land, how we manage land, this also has an impact on the oceans. Yeah, think of nutrient excess, nitrogen, phosphorus, for example, which get leached and end up in the ocean. This has also a huge impact on the oceans. So now global change, well, I'm sure you've heard about climate change, global change, and what it means. It started with more greenhouse gases, which means warmer temperatures, which means more extreme events, and then in the wake of that, feedback loops, which might also even increase the whole process and make everything worse. And soils are very important, as I introduced before in that context. On top of that, there is human pressure on land directly, land use change, intensification, and so on. So all that makes the study of soils in the context of global change essential. And let me just show you in a nutshell what are the learning outcomes of IMSOGLO. So the goal is to educate the next generation of soil scientists to characterize soil. So you will learn really the basics of soil science, to characterize them, to understand their evolution in an ecosystem context and under global change. And it's not only about studying that, it's also about action. It's about developing strategies, implementing climate smart soil management policies, for example. So it's going beyond just knowledge, yeah, and everything, all that is based on a deep insight in underlying processes and interactions. So with a bit more details, so a first block, I would say, which is really basic knowledge, yeah, knowledge of soil science, so basic and then advanced and deep knowledge of soil science, physics, chemistry, biology, and so on. So it's really, you will know how to characterize soil and how to describe their evolution in the environment, and also under the impact of human activities. The second block is about acting from a researcher's perspective. So it's really about asking questions and then making a design to answer these questions and then deal with the data to produce reports which are insightful, which then in a third step are then useful for policies and for action, and you will be also trained to go in this direction. So communication, Yeah, all what has to do with, in the end, what is then beyond the work also at university. Yeah, so that was the content of the course and the aims. So how does it work? How is it structured? Basically, there are 4 universities involved. So Ghent University in Belgium, which is the coordinator of the program. Boco University here in Austria, University of Göttingen in Germany, and Aarhus University in Denmark. It's a 2 years master's program and 120 ECTS, like I guess most, if not all, master programs. But you get a joint diploma because you will be studying at different universities. There are 2 specializations, which in the end will very much determine where you will be going during your master's program. So the first specialization is soil ecosystem processes and global change, which means that you will spend your time first in Ghent and then in Aarhus in Denmark. And the second specialization is on soil and plant systems, processes, and global change, which means in that case you will be mostly also starting in Ghent, like everyone, and then you will move to Boco and to Göttingen. So starting with a bit more detail about each of these specializations. So soil ecosystem processes. This one is more focused on, I would say, water. So water, carbon, soil physical properties. So there's a lot about soil water management, learning about erosion, soil compaction, also very much about carbon cycle and climate. And also, for example, here, as it's written, focus on soil classification, digital soil mapping. So that's really more this soil and ecosystem processes, while the soil plant system processes is a bit more focused on nutrients compared to the soil ecosystem processes. So nutrients, of course, because then it's about plant, so soil and plant interaction. So you will learn about biogeochemistry, carbon, nitrogen, and water fluxes, plant nutrition, plant health, soil microorganisms, greenhouse gas fluxes, and then it goes on into more detailed techniques. For example, isotopic studies to study the fluxes of elements and nutrients in the environment. Yes. So that's again a bit in more detail the structure according to the specialization that you choose, where you will be in which semester during the program. So as I said, yeah, everything starts for everyone at Ghent. That's a place where you will study the whole basics of soil science, but in depth. So the basics, but you will study this in depth. Yeah. So yeah, like physics, chemistry, and biology. You will learn about statistics and also about soil evolution under global change. And then in the second semester, that's the place where you split. So people from the soil ecosystem processes will stay in Ghent, while the second, the soil plant system processes on the right side here will come here to Boco. So I guess you might see there's no pointer here, but soil protection is one big thing where I'm involved personally, and soil pollution and remediation. This is also one course in which I'm strongly involved. So you will see me there if you choose this specialization. Yes, and then so third semester, the soil ecosystem processes students will move to Aarhus, while the soil plant system processes will go to Göttingen. I don't want to go too much into the detail here, but basically you see here at the bottom, the fourth semester is the thesis. So that's your master thesis, for which you in principle have a bit the choice, yeah, to go in one of the university that are responsible for your specialization. Yes, how it is here with the logos of the universities. So a little bit about satisfaction and prospects of the students. So how satisfied are they, and what do they do in principle after the master has been completed? So there is a survey, the results of a survey from the first two intakes. So we had a response rate of 78%, which is actually quite nice for a survey. And 50% of them continued for a PhD studies. Yeah, and the other, so some of them have moved to consultancy and extension on the left here, and some of the students have continued into education and training. But as you see, yeah, the most of the students remained in academic research and continued with a PhD. This was a question about if the education at several European universities has increased the international transferability of their skills and knowledge. So obviously here they were very satisfied. So the answer was very positive. And here, in general, yeah, have people after they have completed the studies, if they are satisfied with their current job, and well, as it seems, many and most of them are satisfied with their job after the master. Good. And now I would move to admission criteria, so more administrative issues. So in principle, the basic requirement is to have an academic bachelor degree in a topic which is relevant for the field of studies covered by IMSOGLO. So chemistry, biology, geology. So all this information, of course, is available to the link on the link which is written here at the top. But then it's not only that you have to have your degree. Of course, the grades also count. So that's also important. So basically, it's written here typically top 30% of the students cohort. So you have to be quite good already with your bachelor degree. And for those here at BOKU, especially who are studying at BOKU, you can consider in principle that with these 5 bachelor studies, you would have in principle the prerequisites to apply for admission to the IMSOGLO master. Yes, English language, of course, very important. It's an international master. So you need to show your English skills with a corresponding degree. So there are different options, at least 3 of them which are listed here. But be careful, some of them are not valid. So mind your choice when you take an English certificate. The other option is that you have studied in an English-speaking country, at least for part of your bachelor. So that would also qualify you for the master in terms of language skills, at least. Good. Then let's talk about money. So the participation cost to the program, it's €4,500 per year 4 program country students, which in principle means the EU countries, plus I don't know it by heart, but if there are questions, I have some support afterwards for questions and answers. And for students who come for partner countries, then it's 9,000 euro per year. But yeah, there is a good news because there is an IMSOGLO consortium scholarship for which students can apply. So basically, this covers participation costs to the program plus a monthly allowance of 1,400 euro during the studies, which is a very good option. Yeah, so go for it, definitely. Yes. So yeah, this is just general information about how to apply. So the basic thing is go to this website, go to the imsoglo.eu website where you will have all the information about filing your application. There is a deadline, very important, for the Erasmus scholarship. If you want to start next year, basically in 2026. So that's the 28th of February. So it's very soon already. So be ready to apply for the scholarship. Yes. So and for, of course, you might not, or you probably will not have your degree, your bachelor degree already in your pocket. Yeah, if you are still in the process of finishing your bachelor. So you just need to, you don't have to have your degree when applying. Yeah, you have to bring some proofs that you are an active student, and that's sufficient in this case for the application. So, and with this, I'm at the end of the presentation. If there are still questions, either topically about soil and global change, but I guess also very much administrative questions. We have here people who are very knowledgeable to help me answer these questions, including also some students who have yeah, gone through the IMSOGLO program and can answer, I'm sure, a lot of questions.